Hey everyone. Woo. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. It's another episode of Talk on Tuesdays. Welcome, October.
October. That means we are officially entering winter, fall,
Wait.
all that
Hush.
stuff.
Hush your foolishness. We are not entering winter. It is too soon. We are not entering it. I'm denying it. There is no winter. It is still fall. We are only 2 weeks into fall. Let's embrace the leaves changing and the pumpkins
Hey, all I know,
populating.
all I know is it's snowing somewhere.
Don't. You're not going to play fair, are you, Coach? You're just going to
Man,
keep on keeping on with that. Absolutely not. No, and no.
you know how it is when the 4th of July here, they start advertising Halloween, and then when Labor Day get here, we advertising Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we already 3 months prior. So when fall get here, we might well be in winter.
No. I'm not going to claim it right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to stay in October, and we're going to enjoy it. We're going to love it. And that's what I'm talking about. And like I said, it's another edition of it's another edition of Talk on Tuesdays. Time to get it going. And we're going to get it going right about now. Oh my gosh, it's another edition of Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. And of course, we are back. We are back in the building, back in the virtual building that is here. And of course, we want to let you guys know here in the house of Talk on Tuesdays, who is one of our affiliate sponsors. It's Key Spot. Connect, share, and grow. If you want to grow your small business, we'll have more information from Cynthia a little bit later. And then, of course, it's the ebook, A DJ Saved My Life. It's the memoir / the how to get started on your podcast. And of course, a forward by my writing mentor, Monique Lisa Johnson. Thank you so very much. Go ahead and scan the QR code or visit purelightHousemedia.net. And of course, for anyone that's really interested in getting started with your podcast, visit us on Patreon, patreon.com/interludes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Coach Tony. How you doing?
Man, I'm just chilling like the fall weather, as you just said.
Mm-hmm. It's a great time to be in fall. And of course, I wanted to share a little bit of what happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
My girl, Wanda Fowler, she turned 60.
Yeah, I saw you getting your book. You was getting your book here. I feel you on Wanda. Yeah,
I'm telling you, we were getting our thing on, and of course, I see the Brown Sugar Cafe is in the building, and thank you so much, Mr. Springer is in the building as well. But Wanda is one of my dear friends from church, and so she had a wonderful birthday celebration just outside of Chicago in Oak Park, and then further up the street in North Aurora, the great music that you hear, that's from Kendall. Well, his wife, who is in the Dead Center, her name is Tiffany Nesbitt. She has opened a space called Sage.
Nesbitt. Oh man, she probably related to some of my boys. I wanted you. I'm about to talk to Tiffany. She may be related to one of my partners.
Exactly. So Kendall is a very, very talented musician and coordinator, and has worked with some of the top Grammy-nominated, Grammy-winning artists around the world. He's just he's all those things, but his wife is all of those things because she started this. She had a ribbon cutting over the weekend, and I got a chance to drive out. I went out there twice. And so I'm hoping to have my book signing when it gets into an actual book. A DJ Saved My Life, and we talked about it. She just sent over the contract today. And so congratulations to Tiffany and Kendall Nesbitt. That's family that's in the building. That's us on the side there. We were taking some picture, in the corner. I don't know who that picture went to.
I see.
It's
You was like the traveling circus this weekend. You bounced from one spot to the next because Oak Park to Aurora. It ain't like it's around the corner either.
No, that was, like I said, it was down the street. Then I went further down the street. So that's that's kind of how that went. But wonderful. We want to make sure that we celebrate John Amos. He has gone on to glory. Man, just what did Esther Roll say as Florida Evans?
Damn.
Oh no.
Man, that was my man's in them right there. As Kevin Springer said, right there, my man's in them. You know something? For those that may be too young watching the show, and of course our audience is around, give or take, our age. So everyone remember good times, but it was so unique how every single time that they had the opportunity, and a lot of people don't know because you're not from Chicago, but at one point in the late 70s, early 80s, Cabrini Green, which is where it was shot from, was deemed to be one of the worst neighborhoods in the United States in terms of murders per capita. And it was amazing that every time James and the family did something good to get out the hood, they fell right back into the trap and they never got a chance to leave. Is that amazing or what?
I know. And thank you so much, Mr. Springer, for putting that up. According to abcnews.com, veteran actor John Amos has gone ahead and passed away. But here's a little bit of the controversy, and I want to make sure that I talk about this. And I want to thank Kevin for sending over the article about this. Now, according to people.com as well as NBC.com, John has not been with us since August. It was just reported yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think John has two children, Shannon and Casey Amos. But I think there was some things that was happening between the two of them. They said that Casey announced that he died. He reported this to People magazine that he died of natural causes in Los Angeles on August 21st. It's October 1st. What has happened since? Why are we just finding out about it right now?
Hey, in the words of my man Sting, who sings what about, under pressure. I'm sorry, Queen, under pressure and undercover. I think there were some things behind the scene. Because unfortunately, Val, you know how we do as young African-American families. Not that the other ones don't do it too, but we just have a tendency of just having inter-family squabbles when it comes to the paper and the property. And I think behind the scenes, that's what was going on. And because of that, it kind of led to the news coming out when we got it. I'm just glad we got it.
I know. And here's the thing. Last year, we had talked about this. We had talked about John Amos, and he appeared in the remake of Coming to America for Amazon Studios. You guys remember that? Yeah. And so what was happening is that what had come up was that there was an accusation of elder abuse. And I think the daughter was the one, Shannon, that reported it. But then it was later reported that everything was okay. And then John Amos was one of those actors that, like, false reports of his death just kept, creeping up. Did you ever read anything and you're like, wait, did he pass away? Then you come to find out he was okay. And it's like,
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, again, when it comes to these greats, him, James Earl Jones, I mean, this last month has been rough.
Yeah, yeah, and this is something that Shannon, the daughter, said. People think it's about money and rivalry, but it isn't. I love my brother. I hope he will get the help he needs. See, that's leading to something we don't know. But we need to prioritize the safety of my father, who is vulnerable. First and foremost, anything else can be added with our family. And of course, at the time, this was last year around March and April, the LAPD went ahead and closed the case that was happening. And but it just kept coming back about that. So John Amos has been acting since 1964, of course, most notably known as James Evans Sr. on Good Times, which was based here in Chicago.
There you go. There you go. Chi-town right here. There you go. Right there.
Yeah, but I think, and here's the thing, Esther Rolle, I found out, really fought for his character to be there because they were going to make it where she was a single mother of 3 children. And she said, no, I need to have a husband. And I believe John asked for more money, and that's what led to them killing him off the show. This is a Norman Lear production. He's done a few other things.
Norman Lear did everything here, man. He did the Jeffersons. He did with Archie Bunker and that. I mean, Norman Lear has got his hands on a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that he played for the Kansas City Chiefs and then also the Denver Broncos?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That happened in the 60s. That's before both of us showed up, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That's always good to know what these brothers doing, and that's good that he went into it at an early age. And I'm sure at that time, the lead man from football to movies was Jim Brown. So that probably was he probably saw what Jim Brown was doing and said, hey, I can do the same thing.
Right. So, but after John left the Good Times, he still continued to act. He was in a couple of shows, guest appearing in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 704 Hauser, Hunter, also The West Wing. Totally forgot about that. And then, of course, in the 1988 Coming to America as Cleo McDowell, the father
that's
of
McDonald's, we McDonald's.
What was that?
I said, that's McDonald's and we McDowell's. They got 73 buns. We just got buns.
Exactly. They have the Big Mac. We have the Big Make.
Right. Exactly. What?
Exactly.
Hey, all I know is my most famous line in the movie is, son, if you want to continue working here at McDowell's, lay off that stuff.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, just praying for the Amos family. And like I said, he represents, this was before Cosby, this was before Uncle Phil, this was before them all. He was James Evans, even though he has portrayed a lot of roles. This is him in the role in Roots. A lot of people forget
he was in Roots. I just about to tell you, don't forget he was in Roots. All powerful. The book that set America off for Black African Americans to learn about their history. Now, not his story, but our story. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So like I said, we really are going to miss him. And like I said, I hope everything gets resolved, because like I said, that sounds like that was some drama that was happening, but we just going to go ahead and let that alone. We're going to go ahead and let that alone. Now, also in the sports world, unfortunately, we lost Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah, Dikembe Mutombo. Yeah, African guy that came over, had a long career, came over, played for John Thompson at Georgetown University, and went on with the Atlanta Hawks, and then, of course, finished his career with the Denver Nuggets. Never had an opportunity to win a ring because of somebody by the name of Michael Jordan. But if you all know, and Val, when I do this, you'll know what I'm saying. He's the one that made famous, no, right?
Oh yeah. In fact, since you're mentioning that, let's take a look at that, shall we?
Right.
That's the fifth floor problem.
Not in my house. No, no, no. Not today.
Jimmy, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico?
Happier than Dikembe Mutombo blocking a shot.
Nice.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Man, that's the best. I love that. That is awesome. So here's a funny story.
Mhm.
Early in Jordan's career, Michael tried to dunk on him. He blocked Michael's
Really?
shot. And then he turned to look at Michael and did like this, and it was it. It took Michael almost 2 more seasons later to finally dunk on him. And once he dunked on Mutombo, he turned and did like this. Shh. No, no, no. And that became famous. So to see him do all that stuff is, amazing. And just like John Amos, it's kind of funny, Val. He was also sick over a year and a half with no information out to the general public. And Mutombo died from brain cancer. But he's done so many things. For those of you that may not know, the word NBL, it's the National Basketball League, or I'm not NBL, but ABL is the African Basketball League. I talked about this a few shows back, but our wonderful president, Barack Obama, heads up that. And Mutombo, Dikembe Mutombo, and Hakeem Olajuwon, the 2 well-known Africans that came over, were, instrumental in helping the league and bringing a hospital. He had given back money to build a hospital back in Rwanda. And
What?
he's just doing some amazing things. And built a basketball facility over there, was head of basketball operations. And this is why we have a lot of the Africans that we do see across the continent, Val, coming over with opportunities to play in college basketball and in the NBA.
Yeah, and like I said, it's been 58 is a very, in my mind, a very young age. Maybe because I'm close to it, and I see. Thank you so much. I see Monique Lisa is in the building. She said John Amos was our guest on the House of Creativity watch party. Really? I did not know that. Oh my gosh. Okay, educate me on that. But back to Dikembe. Did I say that right? Dikembe. I didn't know that he. I didn't know all that about him, and that he, worked that hard to help out. What African country was he originally from? Do you know? The Congo?
I think it's from the Congo. It's either the Congo or Rwanda. And to come over. I mean, and after he and Hakeem came over, it just became it opened the gate, flooded with just Africans coming into the market, and they're not short, Val. They're 6'8", 6'9", 7'3", 7'4", 7'5", and it's just, he came over with a heck of a work ethic, got a chance to play for the greatest college basketball coach in the African American community. That's John Thompson at Georgetown University, and it was just amazing. I remember watching him play in college with Alonzo Mourning and Allen Iverson is coming through there. So, I mean, it was just phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Monique said we met Dikembe in 2018. He was doing so much to help others. Oh my gosh. And nice. I'm always happy to hear that. I'm always happy to hear when people help out, which is a great thing,
Oh yeah. Especially when you're coming from a situation of impoverish yourself, and you're coming from some place, most of the people that around you, Val, don't even have running water, right? Or water to bathe in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the opportunity or luxury of coming to the free world. And then you make sure you take advantage of everything that's there. That's just awesome.
Yeah, very much so. But like I said, it seems like this was a thing. Like I really was hoping, and I don't know what he was sick from, but it just seems like 58 is such a young age. You didn't quite make
young age.
yeah.
Tell you, God ain't playing. He got work. And then on the lighter note, to lighten this up a little bit, I know we talked about 2 deaths, but on a lighter note, to let you know how God blesses people. The wonderful Jimmy Carter turned 100 today, becoming the first ever active president in the history of the United States to live to be 100 years old. Only him.
Wow. Okay.
So
All right. Well,
the
congratulations to him.
The Georgia Peanut Man.
I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Oh my gosh. That's what's happening. Oh my goodness. Woohoo. Oh, and that's what Monique said. She said it's brain cancer.
Yeah,
Wow,
it was brain cancer. Yeah, it was brain
he was
cancer.
in the
Yeah.
hospital. Wow.
Right.
I
And
did
he was
not know that.
hospitalized over the last, understand that commercial that you just shot was, I think, the last active commercial that he made. And that was a little over right after the pandemic. He took sick sometime in the pandemic. He's trying to do some things. He went over to his homeland. He opened up a hospital, and he opened up some international sports thing for the players to get some recognition to come to the States. And then he took sick.
Wow. Okay. That makes plenty of sense to me. That definitely makes plenty of sense to me. And like I said, did a lot for the game as well as helping others, building hospitals and building things. He will be missed. I'm just gonna make sure I pronounce it right. Dikembe.
Mutombo. Right.
Oh,
Mutombo. Remember that name, you know. And for those of you that did not get an opportunity to watch him, go back and Google some YouTube videos. Watch his brother play. See why he did all the finger moving. You know what I mean? See what he did. His brother was a beast to come over here and play. And he had, I think, an 18, 19-year NBA career. That's luxury. You don't play that long unless you're good.
And happy birthday to Jimmy Carter. Happy birthday to our former president.
As he say, how you doing? My name is Jimmy Carter. You know, I'm from Georgia. You know. Hey, you should have played Georgia on my mind.
Coach becomes a singer when it comes down to it.
Hey, Melissa, you already know, Mo. Hey.
Well, guys, we'll be back right after these messages as we get prepared. It will be able to be talking about power. Here we go.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the KeySpot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. KeySpot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. KeySpot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
I'm about to make a move.
What's next?
Gotta up our game. It's the only way to get to the top.
I had to really search for a commercial that did not have the language.
Man, you know what I wish you'd have played? You know what I wish you'd have played though?
What?
I got the power.
No, that's a copyright strike. We ain't trying to get blocked.
I know. I'm just saying.
And of course, we want to thank Cynthia McAllister for being our affiliate sponsor for KeySpot. If you would like to tap in more with KeySpot every third Thursday of the month, meet other phenomenal small business owners. You could do that. Let us know, and we'll go ahead and connect you with that. But of course, oh my gosh, Tariq St. Patrick. I can't believe it's all coming to an end. The series finale, not the season finale. This is the series finale is coming to an end on this coming Friday. Power has been around, or the universe of Power has been around since 2014. Of course, when this show started, this was just before the pandemic, 2020. Who knew how smart 50 Cent and Courtney A. Kemp had to be to shoot a lot of stuff before the pandemic, as if they knew it was coming. Because
Well, I
I don't
told
think
you.
this show didn't slow down during the pandemic at all.
No, it picked up. Well, I told you, and you and I'm proud of you because I'm proud of you because I'm proud of you because I'm proud of you. It sounds like a broken record, right? But I'm proud of you because you finally listened to your boy. I kept telling you about this Power series a long time ago, and and the funny part about it, 50 did two smart things to me. One, prepare for the pandemic, and two, prepare for the SGA strike, right? And he said that he had so many series, he would sometimes, like Prince and Michael Jackson, just go in and knock it out and record a whole series. And something, let me bring the crew back and let me record another season. So when the strike hit, when the pandemic hit and people couldn't move, 50 was so smart because everything was seasonalized, right? Everything was in a 6 to 8 week time period. 6 weeks or 8 weeks, then the next show came. So he had 4 shows. So all he had to do, if he had 2 seasons prepared, 4 shows, that take you through 1 year, and then that's 2 years. So he had 2-3 years of material right there before he even had to shoot anything else. That was just absolutely phenomenal.
So, and thank you so much. This is wonderful. Kevin Springer just placed in the chat that Ghosts PowerBook II, Ghost breaks audience record ahead of season 4 finale. Now there's two to three things that I want to mention really quickly. The original show, we call it the OG show, went 6 seasons. And so it all kind of came to a head in January of 2020. And the biggest question coming into that was who shot Ghost. And what 50 and Courtney did was that they came up with not 1, not 2, but about 3 or 4 scenarios of who possibly shot and killed the main character portrayed by Omari Hardwick. And so
we finally found out exactly who did it.
And if this spoiler alert, if no one has seen it, Tariq is the one that took his own father out. But here's the thing: the spinoffs came and they were announced right after the last episode aired for those 6 seasons. And so for PowerBook II, it's kind of the continuation. Now it's not about James, it's now about Tariq, and Tariq is in the center. But it's cracking me up. I'm looking at this picture. There's a couple of people that started with PowerBook II back in 2020. They're no longer, their character is no longer around. Who can you tell us on this picture that's no longer around?
Well, actually, everybody in that picture is around except for, of course, obviously, I don't want to give it away if no one's seen last week. Mary J. Blige is now gone. And then, of course, the crooked detective from the NYPD and the FBI Bureau got taken out 2 seasons ago. So only the people to Tariq's left, which is his mom and Method, is still left right now as we close out Friday's show.
And that's the reason why I showed the preview because what they did was they knew this was a big situation that usually the show goes anywhere from 8 to 10 episodes straight, but they broke it up. They started in June, showed about 5 episodes. I've seen all of those now. And then they now have these 5, and the last of the 5 is airing this coming October, October 4th. Right. Now, so this is some of the things that are happening on this particular thing. And this is what I was able to catch up with. Okay, so if I can keep up with everybody, Michael Rainey Jr., who plays Tariq, a lot has happened. He was in school. He was dealing. He found his Tommy. Tommy is Galani Palato, and that is Braden Weston. His father and family was very wealthy. You guys, we're going to go really quickly. And then there's the Tejada children. The Tejada children is Drew, Kane, and Diana. And these are the grown children of the Mary J. Blige character, Monet. Did you know that Mary J. Blige requested of 50 Cent to be in this new series and came up with the character Monet? Did you know that?
Yes. And let me break it down, like they say in the hood. Let me break it down, but let it be broke, right? So let me while you're getting educated, let me break it down how this series came about. And before I do that, Kevin Springer, put in the in the line, the tagline. Here's my question. While I'm explaining this, my question for you guys tonight is, how have you enjoyed the Power series? And then I want to know from everybody, do you feel it's the best series out of the Power book? Obviously, the Power book is Tommy in Chicago, Raising Canaan, BMF, then the Power series. Now, let's rewind this tape while you're learning, Val. At the end of the show, when, if you pay close attention, 50 and Ghost have some issues. And then Tommy and Ghost fell out. Tommy at one particular point was headed out to get out of town before he got caught, so he headed to California. Of course, we know that 50 got into it on the night that he supposed to been setting up Ghost, and he got offed himself, and 50 got killed out of the series, but he came back quasi as a ghost to hunt. Then, of course, there's Tasha, the mama, and the baby sister, the grandmama, which we know that's Angie from what?
Oh, All My Children. That would be Debbie Morgan, actress Debbie Morgan. Yes.
So we moved them around and we put them in witness in WITSAP, Witness Protection Program, for those that don't know. So now, how the Ghost Tariq series had a spinoff, and the only reason why it had a spinoff because, as you set up a moment ago, the setup was who killed Ghost. Now, after Ghost was killed, he appeared in the next couple of episodes to haunt Tariq for killing him, if you remember. And so what 50 did is 50 then spun off the series with Tariq and Mary J. Blige coming on to do what they call a throwback. So what you're looking at is Tariq is a young ghost, and Kanan is a young 50, and Braden is a young Tommy, with Mary J. Blige being their mom. And their throwback is he went back into time with this series to explain how they got in the dope game so deep, how they started as kids through school and everything that happened before they became what you saw in the original series.
Okay, teacher. Okay, two things. BMF is not a part of the Power universe, so that's a totally separate universe. I thought I heard you say BMF. Did you say BMF?
Yeah, what I'm saying about you didn't understand my question. BMF is not a part of the Power series. I said, which series do you enjoy that 50 came out? BMF had been a separated series of that, because you got Tommy in Chicago, Raising Canaan, and then of course you got BMF, which is another series that 50 put out to talk about what happened during Freak time with my boys.
Okay, so correction. Raising Canaan was back in the day that kind of explained and had, I can't think of the actress name, to portray Canaan's mom. PowerBook II, Ghost, is a continuation past the death or the supposed death of Ghost, because the rumor has it that the series finale is supposed to be rumblings that Omari Hardwick might be making an appearance, either as a ghost or probably not killed. Although I clearly remember seeing a bullet go in him. I don't know.
I think that's a correction, Val. If you go back and you look at the notes and all that, this is a series that 50 tried to tell how they got started. So if you go back for when they were kids, this is how they got into the game. And these three were supposed to be Tommy, 50, and Ghost at the time. Yeah, Raising Canaan. Raising Canaan is a flip of 50 only by himself, nobody else, only Canaan. And it was a flip against Get Rich or Die Trying, when he was explaining how he came, which I don't like that series kind of, because if the Raising Canaan series is the truth, then that means Get Rich or Die Trying is a lie, because Get Rich, Die Trying, obviously we know he stayed with his grandparents. He got shot 10 times. His mama did this and that. The dope man came up. Of course, they had a problem at the end of his show before he became a rapper. So if Raising Canaan is 50's real story, then his mama was a beast, because she's a straight thug out of thugs, coming out of New York. But, that's supposed to tell the real story of his life. So I like what 50 has done, but he hasn't tied anything together because he's given everything their own story. That's been phenomenal.
Yeah. So I'm going to and I wanted to make sure that I had all of the cast up here that I've really enjoyed over the last. Now it's been fun seeing one of the girlfriends come back. One of my favorite actresses. Why am I forgetting her name right now? But she was Golden Brooks. Golden Brooks was kind of the person that helped the Monet character get better. I think she's playing like a cousin or relative, and so it's kind of, we saw the softer side of Monet in this 4th season of the PowerBook II series. So I was really appreciating that. And then of course, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here, Alex Lepre, who plays Effie. I didn't quite know what her she along with Braden were a few of the characters that was introduced in the original series and carried over into PowerBook II. She had a romance with Tariq, and then it went to Kane, and now I hope she's still around. I don't know if she'll still be around.
She's still in Kane.
Exactly.
But my question to you is, what was the most unique part of the last series that you saw, and why?
What was the what?
What was the most unique part of the last show, last week's show? What was the most unique part that you think 50 did a hell of a good job with, and why?
Okay, I'll answer that question. Thank you so much, Kevin, for letting us know. The mom from Raising Cain is Patrina Miller. Yes, she's acting her behind off, and Golden Brooks is who appeared in it. And the 2 people from Girlfriends that was in this series of PowerBook II was Keisha Sharp. She played the romance interest to Lorenz Tate's character, Councilman Tate, and then Golden Brooks, being a family to the Monet Mary J. Blige character. What I was liking the most in this particular thing is this fight for family, the fight with the Tejada family. Like, so the family structure for Tariq is a little warped. And a part of that warping happened at his own hands. But of course, I know that that's something I found him kind of uniting with Monet, and Monet would almost kind of go to him as like a check. Like, are you telling the truth? I think you're trying to do me dirty. And of course, just kind of that rivalry, the sibling rivalry between Kane and then also Tariq. So it was like he was kind of like an adopted kid, but not quite. And I think Monet couldn't quite say that. But the storyline that really intrigued me leading up to the 4th season was just, number one, how the father got out, and an excellent Alberto Colon, who played Lorenzo Tejada. And so I'm sitting here looking at him, and he really loves and is always it's about the family. We're going to bring people together. And then the big reveal about Zeke, not necessarily being a nephew, but Zeke, played by Daniel Bellamy, he was actually Monet's son. So that constant fight of forgiveness, does it happen? No, it doesn't happen. I know that my son is gay. My son is in these relationships, but I'm going to still love him anyway. But I still want to kill you, but I still love you. So just kind of that, the family dynamic has been the fun part that I've enjoyed, and kind of that battle of should I embrace you as mine or not? This actress that you see on here is a British actress. I have become a fan of her work. I'm just now looking at some of the stuff that she's been doing. She showed up, I believe, at the beginning of the 3rd season, and I think I'm gonna have to go to the all cast so I can bring her up. But she is out of she's out of London, England, and I'm trying to bring up her name real quick, but I've really been impressed with how gangster her character has been, and definitely people. And she's kind of put like the fear of God in folks, but then eventually you saw a little bit the softer side of her in this. I want to call it Noma. She plays Noma, and that is Caroline Chiktinzy.
Right. So I'm gonna fast forward. I'm gonna fast forward you again to the last series. What was the one thing in the last series? Because that was a great update for everybody, you know, and all that. But the last series when Mary J just took the bullet and she's out. What was the one thing that that series or that particular
You mean
show?
that episode? Because when you say
I'm sorry, I
series,
mean
I'm
series. I mean,
thinking,
I'm sorry.
the
I apologize.
entirety.
I meant to say I meant that episode. I apologize. What was the one thing about that episode that you knew Mary J was no longer going to be with us, and that episode was unique? What was the one unique thing about that episode, or what was the one thing that when you heard it, when you saw it, you say, "Oh my God, she's about to be out of here"?
I kind of saw the writing on the wall a little bit earlier in the series because of because of Noma's character. I
Okay.
knew, yeah, I saw it, and I see April saying I must watch Ghosts. I'm way behind, and she's here, and yeah, that's right. She
Well, I'm
plays
gonna say,
Noma.
yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm surprised you didn't pick this up, especially the way you name your book, "DJ Saved My Life." If you
Okay,
pick
what?
up this series, because I'm always in the street side stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I love when me and you review the movies because you like to pay to get in, and I come through the back door with the chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna watch the show together. You
Right.
know, that's how we do. But when 50 is a what? What is 50 known for? He's a hip hop artist. And
Music
when
artist. Yeah, we know that.
and when 50 put Mary outside of that door,
Uh-huh.
and Noma tried to tell Kanan that he had to choose between his mama or the love. And when you heard that soundtrack drop, doom, 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 and Tupac, come with me, Hillberry,
Oh, you're
come
talking
quick,
about the
see.
music
What do
choice.
we have here now? Do you want to ride or die? Nah, 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 nah. And when he said that, hey, man, and she dropped the door, man, I can't say the words because I Pac snapped on the sweet cuss word, but Mary came through blushing, and Pac's word, man, don't push me, sweetest thing of revenge is, and boom, Mary came through that door. And when they dropped her, busing for her son, once she heard Kanan say, my mama was the only one who had my back when I was down, and no matter what happened, she was there fighting and guns blazing. And when she said that, she kicked through the door and he dropped that Tupac track. And once Mary went down, that's when the rest of the Tupac track went off. That was ingenious. There was no other track that you could play, no other rap artist that could bring that to life than Tupac and that track, and with
This
Mary's name in it.
this the one thing, and I was trying to capture this a little bit earlier. There was a great interview that Stars or the company did with Method Man and Mary J. Blige, and the two of them were kind of going back and forth interviewing each other. And so in my mind, all I'm seeing is "You're all I need to
Right
get
to survive.
by."
Nah, nah,
So
nah.
they won a Grammy for that song, and that's a
So,
remake from the '60s.
is that
Who originally recorded that? Was that Marvin Gaye?
Marvin Gaye?
Yeah, Marvin Gaye that originally recorded. So, you know, I'm thinking to myself, you got the queen of hip hop soul, and you got Method Man from Staten Island representing the Wu-Tang Clan together, and he's just. I remember looking at that video going, "Oh my gosh!" Now now they came back together for another song called "Could This Be Love at First Sight?"
Yes.
But I was like, these are my hip hop heroes acting together. I didn't want to see my girl go down, but perfect with the music.
The Wu,
Perfect with the music.
The Wu,
Huh?
gotta put the Wu-Tang, the Wu. Come on now. Come on
Oh
now.
my gosh.
Hey, if you
Oh
gonna
my
play
gosh.
with it, play with it. Again, 50 with his music. And for those that didn't realize it, who was a special guest on the last show? Who played as one of 50 Cent's cousins at his wedding? Tell me who that was.
I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me.
Chicago's own Little Dirk. Little Dirk made an appearance. I was like, oh my God. And that just tells me now he's raised his elevation from when he came out of Chicago, South Side of the house, baby, as you see, represents Shy. And he came out, went on and did his thing. You know, him and Chief Keef them did whatever. G Herbo and all them boys. Now they in L.A. And now Dirk comes back and make a special appearance on the 50 show as his cousin. And then they get him out of the wedding, because remember they went and Noma had all the relatives removed from the wedding, so they didn't kill him all. So therefore, hey, our own boy from the South Side, you know, and Lil Durk now be looking at maybe looking at acting career. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I think what's been fun is to see some of the actors, and I know it's 50. I know it's Courtney Kemp, who is also the main creator and showrunner for the Power series. It's just that if someone is like, if they pitch themselves right to 50 or whomever, or Courtney or whomever that's responsible for that, they'll bring them on. Because for me, finding out, now this was me finding out late about it, that literally Mary pitched herself to 50 and was like, I want to be on the show. I don't know where you want me, but I want to be on this show. And Method Man wanted to be on, and they said, we're going to bring you on as an attorney. But he said, I thought I was going to come on as a killer. I was going to come on as a gangster.
I'm just loving that 50's giving all these hip hop artists a chance. I mean,
I know.
You know, he's bearing all the hatchets, and he just, you know, and this brings me to another question. And Springer, you can put it up. What's up, my girl April? You know I'm always saying what's up to you. How you doing tonight? Thanks for checking in. My girl April, always close to the show. But this makes me think of another question that I got to ask everybody. You know, I get pumped. You know, the only show that makes me pump like this is The Wire. You know, if we were reviewing The Wire, for those that were old heads that really knew about the old gangster stuff, talk to me about The Wire, because that set all this up. And that's when 50 said he got this huge idea from watching The Wire. And then he made this into a series that The Wire couldn't. Of course, that started Idris Elba and a lot of other stars on that. But the question for you guys is, do you feel with the Power series, Tommy, with Raising Kanan, BMF, and whatever else 50 is going to do you feel that this has finally separated 50 as a hip-hop artist, moving him into the likes of those that are great writers and directors in the movie side of the business? That's great questions. I want to know.
So that's a long question. So I'm just going to answer it for you. That's a very long question, but we're going to do this. We'll just now say Curtis Jackson. He pitched the show to NBC, ABC, CBS, to a bunch of different places, and he got turned down. And he said he went around and started pitching it as early as 2009, 2010. Eventually, he got a yes in 2013, and that was from Starz. Starz is now owned by Lionsgate. I think I've started to see that switch over, whatever. So here's the thing. He created this with someone that is a well-known writer. It's like he united with his own Chandra Rhimes. It's like he found his own Chandra Rhimes, because Courtney was the one that's actually is the brainchild behind a lot of the storylines. And what I loved about this series, very similar to what I noticed with Queen Sugar and a lot of other series, is that there were a lot of women directors. Coach, do you know how big of a deal it is for you to have a Hispanic woman director, a Black woman director, a woman director, Hispanic writers, Black writers? Like, this is your entire back office is people of color. And because the vast majority of characters you saw in front of the screen were Hispanic, were Black, were of many different races, that was also happening in the background. And I think it's because of what's happened with 50 is that, I don't know, you can attract more bees with honey. And I want to make sure that I have something that that's going to go beyond hip hop. And for him, I think it was it him that got the vitamin water deal? I think it was him that got the vitamin water deal. So I think
so the 100 million. So what's up?
I think that opened the doors for him, and you know, 50 is a decent actor. When I saw him in Get Rich Quick and Die Trying, I was like, oh, he's not a bad actor. But, you know, people are like, oh, he was just acting like himself. But think about it. Throughout the OG series, Power, and him coming in as Kanan, every time I rewatch it, I get a kick and see something a little nuanced about what he did. And so when he you know, the writers killed him off, he says, oh, I'm fine. But he came back and he haunted Tariq, or he haunted someone. So it was just kind of fun to see that.
You know, 50 been doing his thing. Now, he's been on the big screen with some power movies and all that, but, you know, it's just like my man Oliver QT said, he understood exactly what I was asking. He says, no, 50 is still a rapper because he already spoke about he's not going to be a mogul. And he's exactly right. He understood exactly the point that I was trying to make, underline, is that 50's and threw a couple of things at a couple of folks, right? There's a couple of things that's going on. And so 50 got some comedies, he got some this, he's got some that going on. But the Power series took off for 50 and took him in another direction. Why is that? Because he did get a chance to sell one of his series to ABC, and that was Empire. And he sold that Empire series to ABC, and it did quite well. But you weren't able to.
Whoa. Empire was not his. That was Lee Daniels. He did another show with ABC, and that only made it for 2 seasons. Let me bring up what that series
I thought 50 was on.
It was not Empire. Empire was Lee Daniels. Let me go ahead and correct you on that.
Well, looking at that when you're doing the Empire show and all that, and looking at what 50 was trying to do, I think that he looked at that whole series and said, you know, I can't have a show like I want to have a show. You know what I'm saying? People done seen Get Rich or Die Trying. They didn't see me do that. People have seen this, me do this and me do that. For me to really stick to that mode and stick to that character and be 50 and really be straight up, you know, New York, I got to give the people what they need to see. And the only way I can do that is I need to have a landscape that's able to allow me to do what I need to do, whether it be sex, drugs, violence, whatever it is. And then Stars came. And that was the best situation Stars could have sold, and it's improved positive.
So what's on the deck for 50 is as he continues past Power, because I think now the only show, I think Raising Kanan, I think that did that end? I feel like it came to an end. I'm not sure.
Raising Kanan get ready to start, and my boy Tommy got the best show to me. Because he put Chicago on the map, and Tommy crazy with it.
Right, exactly. So that is Force. That's the one that Tommy is in, and that's going to continue. But the other thing that he has coming up, there's going to be an 8 Mile TV series that's in pre-production right now. Vice City. Vice City is going to be one of the TV series that he is going to be working on. Then there's another one called Den of Thieves.
Oh yeah, Den of Thieves is a remake. That Den of Thieves is basically a remake. Yeah, there's been a Den of Thieves, and that's been a remake for what he's doing on that one. But the 8 Mile is going to be dope as hell because, you know, that's paying tributes to M for signing him. But, you know, if you haven't watched it, Val, and I don't know if you are or not, I love all of them, to tell the truth. But the best one of all, because I had an opportunity to partake in some of that stuff back in the day, is the BMF Big Meat series. If you ain't up on BMF, you're missing everything, because the Power series is a make-believe land that 50 created based on X, Y, and Z. The BMF, that is a true documentary of what actually happened in this world back in 1989, 90, 91, all the way to 95, 96, over a 10-year span, while Big Meats, as Rick Ross say, they call me Larry Hoover, while Big Meats was doing what he was doing with his brother and getting Terry and getting everything off the ground from the D and moving one of the biggest narcotics control mafia in the United States, if not the world, and tying in equal to that of the cartel out of Mexico. So if you're behind on BMF, trust me, get caught up.
Yeah, and this is Oliver saying, it's crazy to do 50 Cent as a rapper myself. I'm creating a universe comic book myself. I say if this is inspiring you to do your own and to create your own either series, comic book series, or the like. Somebody said, "Rest in power."
Rest in power, Monet. Right, exactly. There you go. I see you. I see the side firm. Rest in power, Monet. And again, by a side firm. That's how I felt. Like I said, when he dropped that Park track, man. When he dropped that Park track, Hail Mary, couldn't have been better because you get a character named Mary in the show, doing everything as Monet. You know, Monet is Mary, but it's just crazy, man. That was awesome.
But like I said, I'm trying to figure out exactly how this series finale is going to go. Now, what's been funny is that there's been a couple of predictions. Now, the Tejada children, I think they are still in play. They are still, fighting. Kane.
What's your ending, Val?
I feel like
I'm gonna give you mine, but I want to hear what's your ending.
I feel like what's going to end up happening is that something catastrophic is going to happen to our main character Tariq. Like he's been skating by these last 4 seasons, these 39 episodes with a breeze. And if it doesn't happen to him, it might directly happen to Brayden. I feel like because everyone was saying when the first 5 episodes aired over the summer, they were like, nobody got nobody got shot. What happened? And so I feel like one of wait a minute, somebody said bye Tasha. Tasha gonna die. Lord have mercy. That could happen. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. And then of course, I feel like who might end up surviving is Diana because she's pregnant. But I think that it's either going to be Brayden or Tariq. I think something is going to happen, and somehow you'll see Tommy come back as that was brilliant over. I think the season finale for the 3rd season, Tommy came in for that, and then I think he also was at the very end season of season 1 of PowerBook. Let's hear what you guys said. I would love another season for Tommy to get in play to defend Tariq. And then he also says Tommy reminds me of a gangster Eminem.
Yeah, now I'm gonna give you my version, and I'm Oliver QT, man. You must be my homeboy.
She did lose a child. I've totally forgot about that. Good Lord.
Oliver QT, you must be my homie tonight, man, because we rolling on the same vibe. I love what Val said, but I'm on the entire opposite planet of what Val said. I don't think that you create this series and get rid of Tariq. I don't think Tariq is going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. I think that next week, Kanan gets killed. Possibly Drew gets killed.
This week.
Well, I'm sorry, this week. I think Kanan gets killed. I think Drew possibly gets killed or maybe injured.
Stop. Kanan, 50 Cent's character?
Correct.
You mean Kane?
Kane. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kane.
Okay, so that's Woody McClain. Woody McClain's character, Kane. Okay, there we go.
I think Kane gets killed. I think because you got to look at what happened. If you look at what happened, Val, when he and Effie was sitting down talking after they had the little sexual innuendos, right before the marriage, what did he say to her? Do you remember that?
No, remind us.
He told her, listen, you're smart and you keep wanting to get out the game. And I don't say nothing about you being with your little nerdy stuff and want to go to Cal and go to Stanford. I want to be Frank. Yeah, I want to be the big boys that was in New York that was getting that business. And if that means I got to go out blazing, let me be immortalized. That was a setup before Monet got killed. So I think Kane is gone. I think possibly Drew. I think possibly Drew gone. And that depends on what they do with crazy your boy, the cop. That depends on what happened with him.
Michael Ealy's character.
Yeah, Michael Ealy. I think they kill him. And I think after the smoke is left going, I think 50 leaves himself an opportunity to write a new show with Effie now going to Stanford and creating another diversion and a drug business being pushed to California in a school like Stanford. She runs that. I think his boy stands tall. The white kid stands tall as his
Oh,
homeboy.
Braden's gonna survive. Braden's
Yeah,
gonna survive.
I think Braden survives, and then
Okay.
I think that Tariq and Diane definitely survives because what you just said. I think they connect with Tommy, tell Tommy what's going on, and Tommy is gonna, Tommy's Uncle Tommy, so Tommy's gonna say, let me bring you to the shop. Let me get you up out of there, bring you to Chicago, and bring your girl with you, bring Diane with you. They got a love thing that's going to go on. Tommy's going to protect her, and then Tasha is going to get out of Witsack, and something's going to go on. I don't think that they're going to kill Tariq, his homeboy, Effie, or Diane, but I think the Tejada base of the Tejada family is gone, but the only one that can keep the Tejada family alive is Diana, because she can have another baby when she wants.
Sure can. Yeah, she sure can have another. And thank you so much for that reminder that she lost the baby. I totally forgot about that. And
Yes.
then I got someone told me Ghost might be alive. That was that's what I had been hearing in these YouTube streets. So I might have to watch, because I had an argument with a person about that, I bet. And Tasha being taken by Carter seems like the logical next step in the storyline. It's been hinted at in subtle ways, and it could be the perfect dramatic twist. Yeah, because Carter is a dirty cop. He's all about lining his pockets.
It's all about him. Exactly. And I think what's going to happen with him is his only ally he's got left is the one guy that's in his department who's doing his own thing. He's already on him. He already know he's about a bunch of BS. He already know that. He already know he set the other cop up, and it's only a matter of time that he's going to get set up. So why am I going to wait to get set up when I just set up the captain and I'm keep it moving? Yeah, it's just a game, baby. You got, hey man, don't hate the game, hate the player. You know what I'm saying?
Don't hate the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Right.
But this has been a fun ride for me, and I want to thank you, Coach, for saying, Val, no, I need you to give this show another look, because I was not trying to see this because I was so enamored by James St. Patrick, aka Ghost, aka Omari Hardwick. I look forward to seeing his tattoo on his arm, and him and Angela, the romance. I was hoping that he would work things out with Tasha. It was like a whole thing that was happening. I love the fierce loyalty of Tommy in the original series, and I feel like a lot of the elements of the original series definitely trickled down in the Tejada family, in the relationships between Braden, Tariq, Monet, her children, of course, Method Man as doing his thing as the attorney, and of course, just all of the folks that showed up. So I feel like these things can happen. So if you believe Tariq's going to show up, he's going to show up. But I think it would be absolutely apropos if Omari Hardwick makes an appearance in this episode. And if you notice, there is no description of this week's series finale anywhere. No one's describing it because it would give it away.
I don't know how you pull him out the grave and all that stuff, because they didn't have a funeral. But here's the thing about it, Val. Here's where you got to tie stuff together. Here's what a lot of people don't do. You got to do like a little background investigative, right? So who is Tommy Warren with in the force? Do you know?
I haven't been keeping up with the force. I'm circling back to get to that too. Sorry about that.
You get back up, Tommy's warring with the same freaking fools, the Russians. And the Irish guys is who he's knocked off in the shot, and he's doing everything around, Chinatown and everything around 22nd and doing everything on the north side. But he did the same thing. So the Russians came in, so they didn't have this war with the Russians. And who by chance did Monique them just kill? They just killed the Russians. Right. So that's why I know that, because of the situation, as your boy said, Ely said, drug dealers and gangbangers are like roaches, right? You kill them and more come out. So I think that when you look at that scenario, that's why I think Tariq is going to reunite with his uncle. I don't think they're going to take him away from his mama. I don't think they're going to leave Tasha and his sister alone.
Okay.
I think when the dust clears, Tariq is going to be one of the biggest roaches that you've ever seen.
Oh my gosh! And look at Oliver. He says, "I cried when Monet passed away." Yo, It hurt
Oh
me
yeah,
also.
everybody I talked to said they shed a tear or they close to they. Oh my goodness! Right, so you know.
Mary's going on tour next year. She's fine.
Yeah. Mary doing nothing.
All right.
All y'all doing is sold out Mary's concert next year. That's all you did.
Oh
And
my
she
gosh.
gotta bring
Those were the days.
Method Man. She gotta bring Method Man on tour with us as a special guest. You already know that.
Okay, those were the days of good writing and good character development on OG Power. That's what's been happening. I feel like a part of that has leaked into this particular series, but a lot of things got wrapped up with a bow a little too quickly. I kind of wish they could have had the same amount of time. Like I wish it would go another 2 years or 3 years and go maybe like after this episode, it'll be 40 episodes. They've been averaging 10 episodes a season, and they worked throughout the pandemic. Like major kudos. The introduction of PowerBook II came at the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. So that I'm also feeling a loss over losing Red. Is that what we also called Monet was Red?
Yeah, man. But you think about it. Think about it. Don't look at a couple things, right? I love the Los Angeles Lakers dynasty. That was a hell of a show. Me and Springer talked about that. It was lost during the pandemic because they didn't have enough shows because it started during the pandemic and there was a strike, right? There was a few more shows that were doing the same thing. I love, if those that don't know about, if Val, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch the Making of the Wu-Tang, man, on Hulu. Oh my goodness. Those four seasons were ridiculous to talk about how Method and RZA and Ghostface, my boy Pretty Tony, like me, all those guys got there. That was all good. But then they all got caught up during what? The pandemic. And so they didn't have the writer stuff. But 50 was able to come in and again, Val, have 4 different mind thoughts. I'm going to have a series over here. I'm going to have a series right here. I'm going to have another series right here. And then another series right here. And I'm going to give everybody 6 to 8 weeks, right? So if you do the number, 6 to 8 weeks, that means I'm having a series every single season, spring, summer, fall, and winter. So by the time you get back to the new series I want to give you, it's now next year. And so that was genius. Genius.
I have to say, I was on Twitter when the first or second season was actually going, but I wasn't watching it. What was curious, I'm actually following, and I guess somehow kind of way he's following me, Woody McClain, who played Bobby Brown in the BET New Edition series and the Bobby Brown series. His character is Kane. He's going, for me, in my mind, he is now going to be well known as Kane. I think he played the hell out of this, out of that character.
If he's following you, you need to tell him to jump on the show. He's like, look, man.
He's done, and because I remember saying something about his acting ability in the New Edition, and then I remember it coming back. I don't know if it was him or if it was his people, but he was like, "You got to check out Power, though. I'm on Power now." So I was thinking, let me see what he does on this show, and I've been very, very impressed with Kane's character.
I mean,
but and
he was
this
crazy.
young lady, Carolyn,
he was crazy as hell as Bobby Brown.
What happened?
He was crazy as hell as Bobby Brown. You know that.
I ain't gonna lie, Tommy book, I liked it a lot. Was scared for Tommy was getting at. Wait, I was scared for the people. Yes, because Tommy don't play.
Because I'm Tommy in Chicago, boy. That's how we roll in the shot. That's why you was scared with Tommy.
Tommy will take somebody out and no. And here's the thing: when is Force coming back? Do you know?
Force will be back this winter. So Force will be back in the next few weeks. That's the next one to come back.
All right. So, and how many seasons is Force? 2 or 3?
This is season 3. This episode is season 3.
Okay, season 3. Okay, great. Because in my mind, he's still stuck in the OG series, so I've got to bring him forward, like I brought Tariq. Because, like I said, I was so angry at Tariq but I can't believe it. Michael Rainey Jr., Joseph Sciorra, this is the actor that's portraying Tommy. These guys have been in front of us playing these characters for now 10 years. Power came out originally in 2014, and so I'm just proud, like somebody's mama. Just like I love it.
I'm more proud of, Val, is that 50 didn't let Tommy go to the West Coast and mess this up. You feel me? For those that don't know, Tommy from the Shy, like myself, he so exactly.
Right.
So when he bounced from New York to LA, I was glad they didn't try to go write the series in LA. I was glad that 50 brought him back to the crib, because he done put Chicago on the map. Matter of fact, on the show, he done showed some sides of the city. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm born and raised. I ain't seen that side of the city before. I got to drive over there. But, it's great to see, again, as we talk about these series, we talk about these things. Again, Val, goes back to the question I asked earlier. Do you feel that 50 has separated himself out of the hip hop industry and now been able to make a great move over to movies? I think that is a scenario that just simply shows the expansion of these young, bright artists' mindsets, that they don't necessarily have to be stuck in one lane. And I love it.
Yeah. So Power, the series finale, it airs on Stars this coming Friday. I say get some popcorn, get on Twitter. If Tommy and Tariq tag team, oh man, Power gonna be beautiful. Well, that might be a spinoff. We don't know. Or they might bring Tariq's character over to Force. They might bring his character over to Force. There's a whole lot of other possibilities, but I think a lot of people like the Effie character and would like to see what it is. I hope Kane don't get killed. I'm rooting for Kane.
Well,
I want him to live.
I know if Tariq and one of my characters get killed, like I said, I'm throwing my TV out the window.
Don't. Then what you gonna watch tomorrow?
Computer.
What you gonna watch tomorrow? That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna go to Best Buy and tell them my TV fell off the wall.
What?
Hey, that's a hood move. But y'all know that's a hood move. I'm just saying. I ain't saying. I'm just saying.
You cannot do that. Oh my goodness. Do me a favor. Oh my god. Don't do no hood moves like that. We most definitely don't want you doing that at all. We want you to, and if you guys are checking this out and you've enjoyed the conversation, go ahead and hit the like button. A lot of people will come and check us out and they won't do the two things. Number one, subscribe. Number two, like the video and really enjoy it. On the Pull Up Podcast show, if you could do me, what happened?
I said, number 3, share it.
Thank you. No, most definitely. I just need you to share. That's most important. For the Pull Up Podcast show, if you could do me a major favor and let us know what is coming up on next week.
Man, first of all, thank you guys, Mo, April, everybody's always on. My guy, Kevin Springer, Wise, going live at 5, and I can keep going on for my guests and my supporters of the Pull Up Podcast show. Last night's show was phenomenal. Had my girl, for those that missed it, Coach Danielle Viglione was on last night. Tremendous athlete, one of the first members to be drafted out of the WNBA. So to have her time on the show last night was phenomenal. And next week, Val, we've talked about this topic numerous of times. So if you got a son, a daughter, a nephew, a niece, a cousin, a church member, or even some kid in the neighborhood that you see that's going to be an athlete, then make sure you tune in on Monday, because we got the one and only Mr. Mark Costner, who is the NIL guru. And for those that don't know, that's name, image, likeness. Going to talk about his books on how to make sure that you can profit. Yes, that means make some money, Val. Profit for making sure your name, your image, and your likeness are getting paid as an athlete at the next level while you're playing college sports. So I'm looking forward to it.
I love it. So we look forward to seeing Mark on next week on the Pull Up Podcast show. I'm always excited for your guests because you've been having some great guests, and it was really a good thing to see that. Of course, a DJ saved my life. It is part memoir, part how to start your podcast. Get your copy of A DJ Saved My Life, and you can go to purelighthouse.media.net or scan the QR code and find out a little bit more with that. Okay, and then also Patreon, join our community, patreon.com/interludes. And of course, I got my popcorn and things ready for the series finale of PowerBook II. This has been, I'm getting educated. Thank you so much for letting me know about the show. So I didn't think we could do a whole show on the show, but we did.
Hey, and the words of your boy on next Friday. Hey, nephew, you my favorite nephew. Well, let me in.
Exactly. And you see what Wise says, that's my man in them. That's my man in them. There you go.
Already know why my man's in them.
On behalf of
that's why I love my girl Val the Voice right there. That's right there. Hey, you know, that's why we vibe so good together. I mean, she keep me on check if I got some bad info. But hey, we're gonna keep it hood. But by the way, Val, make sure with that popcorn, you got a little something to sip on, and you got some wings on the side. I'm just saying. You can't watch the show unless you got them three.
On that note, we'll see you guys on tomorrow. Next week, next same bat time, same bat channel. It is Interludes Podcast Talk on Tuesday. Woo! Peace.